What's up, guys? Welcome to my new video here. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be reviewing an item here with some gaming chairs. I've been in quite a few, honestly, and I've had one for a while. And I got this new one, and one of the things is they want reviews. And I figured I'd go a little bit beyond instead of just a picture to show to them. I wanted to go over it with you guys. Let's level this up with, ignore all the stuff back here. All the features and kind of what I've had. So this is my second chair by this brand, and I did a lot of research for this chair, and I've been using it for about a month now. And then I have a prior chair from the same brand. It's a different one, and I've been using it for about I think over 2 years, or coming right up on 2 years now. So what chairs are we talking about, guys? We're talking about the GTRacing chair. This one is a nice series here, the one I've had for 2 years, and I liked it, and I'll tell you guys while I actually upgraded. And this one here is the GTR Racing Ace. I believe it's the M1. I think it's the M1. I could be wrong. It might be another one, but it's the Ace. They have a few series, I think 3 of them on it. They're all built the same. The highest series is built for more weight. Then I think there's one in the middle, and then there's another one as well in between there. I got this on Father's Day special. I believe it was. I think it was Father's Day. It might have been actually Memorial Day. So it hasn't even been a month that I've had it. It's coming right up on a month, and I think I had to do the review in a month. So I just got this one, had this one. Both of them are GTR Racing brand. Great one. I bought this one actually off of Amazon back for Christmas. Actually, I take that back. My wife actually bought this one for me, if I remember correctly. And I've been really pleased with it. And I bought this one myself directly from their website, which I recommend actually buying directly from them. I think it'll be easier on the warranty, and you get a lot more info. So if you leave a review, which I didn't on this one, if I left a review, it would have doubled the warranty. I think originally it was 1 year, but it was 2 if you did this one. This one's 1 year, but 5 if you do the video or review or a picture on any kind of social media, even your Facebook page. Everybody has Facebook. So do the review or just post a picture of it on Facebook showing it. It's kind of their way of advertising and giving you something back in return, so they don't have to do as much in marketing, which is a brilliant idea. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more of a in-depth here. And what I'm going to start with, this is a higher grade chair. This one's more expensive for sure. This one here, I want to say paid close to $200 when it came out, but it has some bell and whistles that you really don't need. So if you're looking for a really good chair, let's face it, really what a chair you're looking for is something that feels comfortable to sit in for a long amount of time. It's not necessarily about, I mean, it's nice that it looks good, but it ain't necessarily really how it looks, or does this look good or that looks good. Not to me. And I play a lot, and I do IT work, so I'm always in a chair. I've used many different computer chairs throughout the years, and I was glad when I got this one. Most of the time, to be honest, most computer chairs, your standard computer chairs, if you're at a long time, you just lose the cushion and you're sitting on plywood. It's like sitting on a piece of plywood mounted on there, or a very hard chair with no cushion. Like a bench at a park. You sit there long enough, it's just, guys, it's not going to be ideal to sit on for a long amount of time. You're going to start moving around and so on from there. So this one is mained around the Ace. So I'm doing what is said to get to 5 years, but I'm also going to talk about this because I want to give you guys some education, because I really do like this brand in general, and I don't think they're going to use it against me or anything like that as far as saying, oh, well, you didn't do just the Ace. I think I'm going to cover both and be from there. So this one you can get, there's a version that's $100 of this one. It's very same. It's pretty much identical. I've done a lot of research through all the chairs, even before this next purchase, especially this one. And I bought my son one that's a different brand, and I've sat in it, and I like this one better, in my opinion. The other brand, I'm not going to say what the other brand is, but it's a similar looking chair, but it's not as nice quality, in my opinion. And it was nearly the same price. So this one, we're talking about GTR Racing. This one's their very basic brand. If you go to their website, very first one. Now this one has the Bluetooth speakers, and they work very easily, guys. I have used them. I'm not a big person on using it, but if you look, there's a pocket back here, and here is a device. Let's see if I can turn this lighting up for you guys. There's the device that kind of connects to it. I'm gonna be honest, it connected very easily. Super, super easy. It's a nice chair. I've had it for 2 years, so you can kind of twirl it around, and you can see there's absolutely like no damages, even close. It looks nearly brand new. from there. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you guys is we're going to see if I can get a little bit lower. There is a kick out on this, so pardon me as I try to adjust the counter. And this is the kick out that I had with this. Now, this is up to you. This was a really nice feature. The speakers wasn't that big of a deal to me, but this was a nice feature, in my opinion. So that was kind of nice, honestly, with that part of it. Just to give you guys some idea. And I have fell asleep in this thing before as well. So I have slept on this, not often. I'm 30 years old plus. So yes, 30 still playing games, but I have slept on this thing, no problems. I slept decent on it now. I would kick that thing out, that recliner, and I would lay it back. Now this thing would go nearly all the way back. Just to let you guys know, it went so far back. First time that I used it, I had to balance my weight because it would literally tip over. Like it laid completely about straight out to where you can fall asleep in it. Granted, it ain't a lot of room, but you could sleep in one position fairly easy, and I think I even turned on my side when I was doing it. But I came in tired. I was watching something on the computer, and I kicked that thing out, laid it back. Next thing I know, I'm out. And I was out for a while. So this one was really nice. It had the little kick out for it, the leg rest. Speakers, they're pretty decent. They're quality about what you expect for a speaker this size. They work. They have the Bluetooth capability. It does work with computers that have Bluetooth as well, phones and stuff like that. But overall, the sitting quality and how well this thing is held up has been really nice. It does got the lumbar pillow strap there, and I like this because the lumbar pillow is in place. This is also in place with straps from the back as well. And you can see I've been using this one for 2 years, and I think this thing will last 10, honestly. Nothing wrong with the chair. The lumbar pillow, because of how it works, maybe it's the way I see it. It does get a little bit of wrinkles in it over time, but that's kind of expected with any kind of thing made with that material. But there's no cracking whatsoever, and it doesn't even look like it's about to crack at all. And that's 2 years of putting pressure on it from there. And you can detach both of these, no problem. When you assemble it, you're going to easily notice that. This is a great $100 option. Also, the armrests are adjustable. I know you guys can't see much of that, but they do come up at least a good, I'd say about a good 3 to 4 inches, maybe 5 at the most. They come up very good. The recline is very easy. You have a bar down here. So let's see if I can get a little bit lower. You can see the bar down here. There is a bar that I can adjust. Leans back. It makes it easy to recline. And then you have your height adjustment and so on from there. That goes up and down from there. All right, so let's move on. That's this one. So let's move on to the other one. I'm going to switch chairs here, guys. I'm going to swap it out because I want you guys to be able to see this one. So this one is the Ace gaming chair, which is the higher, nicer version. It is a very close replica to the Secret Labs chair from there, but a lot cheaper price. So if you're looking at that, I highly recommend you to do your research, guys, and look at both of these because I was looking at both. I went with this, and I'm glad I went with it, honestly. I don't think it's going to be any better. And I'll tell you a little bit of the difference because I did research. Like I said, I have done research, so I looked these up and determined before I bought if I wanted to spend the money actually on a Secret Labs or this or something different. And I went with this. All right, so this chair, you can tell it does set up a little bit taller. Now, sets up taller. So let me go ahead and go into the story. This chair was still good for me. The only problem I had with this chair, I had a desk that set a little bit higher than the chair's armrest could get up to. I wanted the armrest level. This one wasn't quite making the armrest level as I preferred. So that was a little bit of a problem, and it was starting to bother my wrist over time. So I was like, I need a taller chair. Now, I took a risk. I wasn't sure if this one was going to be tall enough, but it was. It was at least it come up an inch higher, and it was the armrest I was mainly worried about. From there, and I'm about 6 foot even. So this one definitely did it. It was a little bit taller, so it will reach a higher sitting height, armrest height, for sure, than this chair. And the price is very nice. This chair, if you don't got one, this $100 chair is the way. Definitely, if you're on a budget, it's really good. But if you want to put in for a really nice chair, this one here for a few $100s is really good. I think it sits anywhere from $300 to, I have to look. I can't remember. And I didn't pay, I don't think, but maybe close to $300, $200, somewhere in between $200. It might have been like $250. Now I can't even remember, but I wanted it so bad I didn't even really look as much. And I was willing to pay more for even if the Secret Labs, if I thought it would be better. But this one to me, is pretty much the same as it. There really isn't a whole bunch of difference. To me, this one sits slightly better than the Secret Labs on the cushion. Now let's talk about that. But then there's one area that I did like the Secret Labs a little bit better on, and I'm going to address that. And hopefully somebody from GTRacing will listen to this down the line, and there was other people saying the same thing, and maybe they make an adjustment, and this chair would be phenomenal. So anyways, the cushion, the bottom cushion is slightly better on here. Now, not to say that this one's gone down any. This one's great. It's still good. I'm not sitting on cardboard. I've used it for 2 years. I've never had a chair to be able to hold up like this one, and this one's just $100, and I paid more than that for a chair at Office Max plenty of times. This one I have for a month. It's sat really good. It feels like a little bit better cushion than this one, but it's got the same feel, like it's going to really last. From there, it's a little bit wider, so I do got a little bit wider to it. The seat base is a little bit wider. There is a little bit wider. The adjustments are very similar. We've got the recline, and then we got the one for the pump to go up and down, the hydraulic. But here, the advantage is that the armrests, these are nice. They go in and out, and they raise up and down. These go in and out, up and down, of course, and they come forward and back. So they have this ability for them to something like that. And they also, I think they'll shift in and out. Now, they call these 4D. So you can actually slide it in or more out by a little bit. So you have 4 adjustments on this, which you cannot hardly even find chairs with it. I don't even think, I could be wrong, but I don't even think the Secret Labs chair had the 4 dimensional adjustment. I think they only had the 3 from here. But if you look at this and you look at Secret Labs, the design is very similar. You can look, here's the back. It looks really good. It's solid gold lettering. They have different colors you can select from. The pillow is kind of the same, but notice there's no holes in the back. The only thing that I wish they'd actually done a little bit better on this chair was this right here. I'm gonna be honest, like this cushion. This cushion, I do like the idea, there's actually a zipper in this one and so on from there, so you can replace, I guess, the cushion if you had to, or go in there, however you needed to do it. But it is not strapped on. There's no Velcro. So if I'm sitting right there and I'm sitting up against here properly, when I walk away, it kind of falls down. And then you have to pick it back up, or you sit on it and then you slide it back. I wish they would kind of do something about that. Either there's a few options they could do. They could build in a lumbar into the chair, which I think is what Secret Labs is doing in their latest one. And there's the Omega one. But that might cost more money, and then that would drive up the prices. And the reason people buy this one a lot of times is because of the price, and if it's identical and it's very close to the same, price plays a big deal. Or they can do something simple and make this thing sit. I don't know if there's some kind of straps they could put, or if they do some kind of Velcro. And I don't know how you would do it, because a lot of things is I read a lot of people, they take this out. They don't like it for their back. But it is good for your back to use it and get used to it, because it forces ergonomic setting positions. So it's good for your back. But a lot of people I did see remove this. So if people remove it, it ain't no problem. I try to use it, but the only problem is it does fall down from here to there. And I wish there was like a Velcro or some kind of strap or something to cause it to sit a little bit better. I don't know if they could, flatten the bottom. I don't know. It seems like that's something that they would look into. Like when you first get it, it sits there okay, but when you go to sit in it and you go to get up, anybody who uses it, you're going to see that. And a lot of people, that was the major complaint that I've seen people have. Outside of that, I've never seen any other complaints. That was the only thing that I've seen people talk about, was this, and how, well, I didn't like this, so I moved it. And that's normal. A lot of people don't like sitting with a pillow behind them, and that can be normal for several people. Now, this one does hold a bigger weight requirement. So if you're a bigger person, 250 pounds plus, I definitely would go with this one. This one I think would do even good for someone up to 200, but once you start getting it over, I think you're going to want to go with a little bit nicer chair for something like that, so it holds up better. This one, but yeah, I'd say like 215 and below. This one's really good, maybe even 250, but this one definitely 250 or above, or even 200 and above. I would look at something a little bit nicer for a computer chair if you want something that's going to be comfortable, hold up, and the pump be able to hold up as well as the chair. With that being said, this is a very good chair in my opinion. Now, like I said, the reason I swapped from this one, because I really did like this one. The only reason that I swapped from this one is because of the simple fact that I wanted something that the armrest was even with my desk, and this one that I'm sitting in wasn't quite there, and it was slowly over time it started getting to where I could feel in my wrist, and I was like, all right, I need to go ahead and look at buying a chair that's slightly better. Maybe I need to invest more money, because this one, like I said, I didn't spend a lot on this one. This one, I caught it on sale. Now, do buy it directly from GTRacing. So far, every chair I've had with them, and this is my second one, has been phenomenal. They're a very cheap brand with quality. Like, I just don't think you can beat them for the price that they are and the quality that they have, guys. I don't really think you can beat this brand. I honestly think they're probably one of the top brands right now in the company. They're just being overshone by, one, they're cheap, and two, they're not pushing out the advertisement as well as some of these other ones, like Secret Labs. You know, all of these, some of these are sponsoring gamers and they're sponsoring events, and it makes a big deal. I honestly think if GTRacing started doing that in esports and sponsors in general to gamers or people who are icons in gaming, I think their sales would skyrocket, because the quality is just as good, and I don't think anybody would have a bad thing to really say about them. So the adjustments, very nice. Do notice that the other thing about that is this right here. The one other thing that I've seen people talk about, but I don't think it's a big deal, I think sometimes people just look for a reason to complain. And apparently, now I haven't looked or paid attention, but apparently the sides right here, there is a, let's see if I can up it a little bit more for you guys. There is a side plate over here. Yeah, I can kind of see it on the screen. Right here. Now this is made of plastic, but it fits really well. And what it does is it actually protects. There's some metal in here, so there is metal parts inside of here. It's protected, so don't get it wrong. It's built with metal, but people were complaining because this exterior was plastic, and apparently on some other chairs that are higher or more expensive, this is more of a metal. But to be honest, it's plastic. These are plastic on this one, and they've been fine. All you got to do is when you put it together, one, just make sure you got it snug and tight. And so on from there, these plastics should never really get damaged. You would have to take some kind of awkward fall, or something would have to hit it just right. And to hit your chair would be very rare from there, because if something hits your leather or fabric of this type in any way hard enough, it will cause it to start tearing and cracking normally as any furniture would. So yeah, I don't see the plastic as a big deal. The thing I focus on when I'm looking at a chair is this, the back, the armrest. Like, that's your support, and the pump as well. All of this is your support. It's your support. I mean, the pillows, yeah, I guess that's part of it because it's part of the back. But as far as what this looks like that's no big deal. It's covered up. I've got kids. My kids can't come in here and stick their finger in it and get it caught into some spring of any type. And that's what it's there for. Outside of that, they wouldn't even need it on there. But it's to protect people from getting their fingers caught, and protects the metal in general and the moving parts on it. Now, this one, I don't know if they have a version with the rest like this one, but I have laid this one back, and it is very comfortable. For the first time, I think I actually did it 2 days ago. And it was very comfortable to lean back. I hadn't actually slept in it, but I'm pretty sure I could sleep in it as well. The footrest does make it easier to sleep in for sure. But I've gained in this one, and I've done work from home in it, and been in it at least 10 hours or more, with breaks here and there. Always take your breaks a lot. And even this one, I mean, during the pandemic, I went for work from home the entire year and a half, and you see how good a shape that one is and how they look. So the brand is definitely held up really well. This Ace chair is a very good one. Now, is it worth it? So talking about money, let's kind of talk about the money side of things. Is it worth, going and paying more money to go up to the bigger chair versus this one? If somebody's already got this one, then I would maybe ask about, what are you really aiming for? Are you wanting something more comfortable? Or are you wanting something that would hold better? I think a lot of it depends on the reasoning for me from it. Like I said, I had a reason that I went to that one. I was going to have to get another one anyways. It was that or my desk. I liked my desk, so I didn't want to get one that sat lower, so I went with the chair. And then if there was other things I could have done to elevate it a little bit as well, but I wasn't going to go through that from there. But yeah, the $100 versus the few $100 one. If if you've already got the one like this, it's good. I think you test out one, if you ain't got a chair like this, is go ahead and test one out similar to like this, and maybe $100 is a cheap option. It'll last several years. And then if you like it, go to this one. If you got the money and you're looking for a nice one, you're looking at Secret Labs, you're looking at these, multi-$100 chairs, I highly recommend looking at this one. Like, highly recommend. Do your research. Do as I did. I did my research. I looked it up and down. I only seen 3 things that I've seen people talking about on this one, and I'm going to mention it just because, one, I don't think they're that big, and I'll mention the ones I don't think is a big issue. There was one about the lumbar pillow. That one I kind of agree with. It would be nice if it didn't fall down every time. Is it uncomfortable? Not really. It didn't bother me. I think it's good and I can feel good. The only thing you got to do is, if you're going at a different level in your chair, you got to pay attention to how you're sitting, how your monitor is in general, and how your posture is, because your neck, when I went to this higher chair, my neck was bothering me, but I figured out and made a few adjustments. And it was the height of the chair for me, so I made a few adjustments. I raised my monitor up a little bit more, and that I don't have the neck problem anymore, but I did the first few days, and I knew it was the way I was setting. I was like, it ain't the chair, it's the way I'm setting. Something's up, and it was the lower part of my neck here, and I've never had that problem with any chair before, but this was the tallest setting chair as far as the height I think I've ever had. So I knew it was probably something to do with that and the monitor, so I adjusted it, and out of the adjustments of raising my monitor and I think a few other little things, I haven't had that problem for ever since early on. So a lot of times it's not the chair. If something starts bothering you, a lot of people say, oh, it's chair. Remember, the chair does have different settings, and you need to also focus on how your equipment is set up as well, because that can play an effect. Your monitor height can affect your neck. Not having your back all the way to the back can affect it, and how you're sitting and posture in general as well from there. But yeah, if you're going to spend the money, look at this one. So the 3 things is, 1's the lumbar pillow. 2 was that plastic I was talking about on the side. Seen some people say something, not a big deal, it has no effect on me. I'm not even really looking at that. Nobody even notices it unless you point it out. And then number 3 was the packaging. The packaging probably wasn't as nice as other things I've seen packaged, but at the same time, it didn't bother me. The only thing that might bother somebody is, well, if it gets damaged, like how quick is customer support with that? I'm not entirely sure. I've never dealt with customer support, but if I ever deal with them, I'll edit the video or edit down something and tell you guys how that goes. But yeah, maybe I would look a little bit on the customer support side, and a lot of people, that's why I say buy direct, because usually your customer support is going to be a lot better. You'll have all the information. If you're buying directly from the website, you tend to have a lot better customer service experience. But that was the only 3 things I seen, was the boxing, how it was packaged. And to me, it wasn't packaged that bad, but there could have been more styrofoam. It could have been really like covered up a little bit more. I've seen some things like really packaged nicely. Like I'll give an example, like Apple products in general, like their Mac Minis and all of their packaging in general always seems to be really good. They are a more expensive brand when it comes to stuff, but they package really well. So every time I take something out of an Apple product, the packaging's always really good. If it's the phone, the Mac Mini, iPad or MacBook Pro, the packaging's really good. This one I'd rate it like okay. I've seen a lot better packaging, but it ain't the worst packaging I've seen either. It's decent from there, but once again, that could be something to be able to have a lower cost as well. Maybe not. If it's not, then I would say GTRacing, package it maybe slightly better, maybe more bubble wrap or something into it, maybe a little bit better design of the packaging in that aspect, but it is not a big deal to me. The major thing that like I said here, is I wish they would find a engineering solution for this to fall down. That's my only suggestion. The plastic here, to me, is not a big deal. I think people are over exaggerating that. I wouldn't even change. I don't think having metal is going to, 1, it's going to cost more, and 2, it just isn't needed. It's a covering. This has nothing, even if this breaks, it has nothing to do with the operation of the chair. It's just a covering, right? And as long as you just take your time and you put the covering on decently, like I did, then you have no problems. That does it, guys. That is my review on the GTRacing Ace. I think this one's the M1, and then the GTRacing, this one is the Ace M1, and this one is the GTRacing. Is some standard chair with the Bluetooth speakers and the footrest. They do make one without either, and then they make one with just the footrest, and then they make one with the footrest and speakers, and they might make one with just the speakers. But if you go with this one, I mean, the footrest is nice. The speakers are so-so. I mean, if you want something like that, the kids will really like it, but older gamers, I don't think you're really going to be using the Bluetooth speakers. You're going to be using a headset or something. So the footrest for me was kind of neat. It's more comfortable than you think to actually lay down in this thing, for sure. But that's my review on it. So this is my second GTR racing chair, and honestly, if this one holds up, my next purchase will be a GTRacing chair as well, or if they come out with a better version and I get ready to upgrade again, this will be my way to go as well. They have several other products. I hadn't checked those out, but the chairs, guys, I can tell you they're worth the purchase. So if you're watching this video, you're doing your research, you're not sure, you're not finding a lot of info, you can find it on their site, and I'm trying to give you some info that is not on the site. Like I said, this one comes up about an inch to 2 inch max taller with the armrest to the desk, compared to this one. I'd say probably about an inch. This one was missing just a 1/4 inch from being level on my desk, honestly, and that was the bummer part, but it was enough that it was bothering my wrist a little bit in the positioning that I was trying to use, especially whenever I went to the new desk. I bought a new desk, and then from there, after several months, I could start feeling in my wrist, and I knew I needed to do something. That's the review, guys. This one, I love it. This is my current one. This one's actually my old one. I actually had to pull it out of my son's room because I gave it to him. He was excited about it from there, so I pulled it out to do this review. And that's it, guys. I definitely recommend this brand. If anything else, like I said, if you're just looking for a good gaming starting chair and you never had one, this one's a good one. But if you want to invest the money and you want to try to get some of the best out there, do your research. Look at this one. I did my research. Several chairs, even Herman Miller chairs, and I didn't want to pay quite that much, and I've even sat in some Herman Miller chairs that were very nice, and this one is one of the most comfortable chairs I have sat in, and a great one to play in. The cushion, like I said, even the cushion compared to this one is slightly better, and I don't have any trouble with it. The height is great. It's a very comfortable chair. Within a month, maybe I'll come back, and after a year or two, I do another review on this, of both of these chairs and how they're holding up. But until then, see you guys. Take care, stay safe, and peace. And if you got any questions, by the way, let me know down in the comments, and I'll answer any of these chair questions to the best of my knowledge for you guys, or do a video for anything that you might need information on. Take care and peace.